America is a great place. America is a bully. Of course, it is a bully. But listen, imagine what Iran would have done or what Russia would have done if it had similar kind of military might that America has.
Welcome to Proven and Probable. I'm your host, Maurice Jackson. Joining us is JAYANT Bhandari, the host of the highly acclaimed Capitalism and Morality and a prominent sought-out advisor to institutional investors. Today we will discuss geopolitical events between the United States and third world nations. Mr. Bhandari, welcome to the show, sir.
Thanks for having me, Maurice.
JAYANT, glad to have you back. We brought you on the show today to share your insights on developments occurring with peripheral markets, specifically in third world nations. JAYANT, you and I were talking offline, and you referenced a sequence of events that you see occurring with third world currencies rapidly depreciating. Which currencies are being impacted and why?
Maurice, it would be much nicer to ask which currencies are not being impacted. The reality is that just about every currency is getting depreciated compared to the US dollar right now. And that is something that you can see across the third world countries. Turkish lira has fallen drastically over the last few weeks. Brazilian currency keeps falling, Indian currency keeps falling, Russian ruble keeps falling. And in fact, you can randomly look at any of the third world countries and their currencies are starting to fall. And these people, the people living in these countries, want to buy US dollars. American funds are taking their money out of these countries and they are finding America a better place to invest. But not just the third world countries, even the developed country currencies. For example, euro has fallen in the last few weeks. So the depreciation of currencies outside the US is actually quite an issue right now. And this will result into a significant pain increasing in particularly the third world countries. These countries will implode politically and they will suffer hugely in terms of their economies.
Now, are these short-term impacts caused by the Federal Reserve?
These are not impacts caused by Federal Reserve. We have to look at things in proper perspective. The third world countries were getting a free ride. They have been getting a free ride for the last many, many decades. The only exception I see there is China. But the third world countries have been beneficiary of the free gift of European and American technology for the last 50 to 100 years or 300 years. Also, the easy money policies of the European banks meant that a lot of easy money flowed into the third world countries in expectation of better yields. But both of those things are now reversing. The easy fruit from the free gift of Western technology have now been plugged, and the easy money policy of at least the American Fed for the moment has ended, which means that the third world countries who thought that they were very smart people and that they were developing because they were something very special is turning out to be completely false. They were merely beneficiary of the gift that the US was giving to them. Also, the world has been a very stable place because of America. Countries like Canada and Germany, for example, are beneficiary of the military might of the US, but then America does not even get thanked for the benefits it provides to so many of these countries.
You know, you referenced the United States, and we also just discussed the Fed. Let's now inject here that the Fed is increasing rates if they go on with their plan to do so, and or tariffs. How do they fit into this narrative?
Well, also, listen, I am a person who likes free trade. I'm a libertarian, and I think people should have full freedom to buy, exchange, and trade with whosoever they want to do transactions with. However, the trade can result into certain problems. So free trade is always good for a society, but it might not benefit everyone in the society equally. What happens, for example, is that when a rich country trades with a poor country, both the countries benefit from free trade, but what happens with the underclass of the rich country is that they might actually suffer while it is the rich people who benefit the most. Now, I have nothing against it, but the problem is that mostly today, the choices these rich countries have is that either they reduce the suffering of the poor people, or provide social welfare, social security. So if Trump has the choice between increasing tariffs so that the underclass in America gets more jobs, or to continue to provide more social welfare, maybe the first choice, which is to restrict some trade to enable job creation among the underclass in the US, is a better choice.
So then, in your view, because I hear this a lot, is that the U.S. is acting like a bully. And so in your view, are they justified in their actions?
Maurice, in real world, there is nothing like anything perfect. We choose between a bad and a worse. Most people in the world would move to the US tomorrow morning if they could. Just about everyone I meet in India or any of these third world countries, including in Africa or the Middle East, would tomorrow morning move to the US if they could. America is a great place. America is a bully. Of course it is a bully. But listen, imagine what Iran would have done or what Russia would have done if it had similar kind of military might that America has. America is a bully, but listen, the world is not a perfect place. America has to look after maintaining its stability around the world, which does not mean that I like the military-industrial complex that has developed in the US, which actually creates a lot of problems, particularly when it means that they try to impose democracies in these wretched, poor, backward, tribal hellholes in the third world countries. But also America can be bully, but Americans are the people who really believe in fairness, and American people rise up against their governments when America starts to do too much wrong.
Are you surprised that investors are moving to the U.S. currency, the dollar, rather than the ultimate currency, gold?
No, I'm not surprised at all. The people in the third world consider the US dollar to be gold. So they quite rightly want to move their currencies, convert their wealth into American dollars. I know people who actually keep American dollars with them, and they convert everything they earn in these third world countries into American dollars, because American dollar is among the most stable currencies in the world. Now, that does not mean, Maurice, that the Fed of America does not depreciate and continue to depreciate American dollar. But again, we are choosing between a bad choice and a worse choice. In real world, we only have these two choices. Now, coming to gold, gold is a very important insurance that people have, and I think people should be paying more attention to gold. The reason is that America is doing well for now, and in my view, America will continue to do well under Trump. But Trump is not going to be there forever. America will start to change again. America will become more leftist once Trump is gone, and that by that time, you should be thinking of converting your US dollars into gold. And when we invest, we should be investing for the long term, and that is where gold becomes extremely important.
Switching gears onto issuers, do you have any names and or arbitrage opportunities that have your attention at the moment?
One company, Maurice, that you follow and I follow is Irving Resources. The ticker is IRV, and I'm actually keeping a very close eye on that company, on what that company is currently doing. I'm expecting that they might, and I hope they get their permits sometime this year. So that's one good company. Two arbitrage opportunities that I want to mention here, and both are very easy in terms of understanding mathematically. One company is Kangaroo Resources. The ticker is KRL in Australian Stock Exchange. And this company is being acquired for 15 cents in cash. It is today trading at 12 cents, which means that there is a clean 25% arbitrage upside in owning Kangaroo Resources. Again, the ticker is KRL. The other company that I want to mention is Nikkei Platinum, and the ticker is NKP. NKP also trades in Australian Stock Exchange, and this company is being acquired by Zijing Mining. It is currently trading at 9 cents Australian, and shareholders will get 10 cents Australian in cash after the merger is closed, which means that the current upside is about 11%.
Jayant, as always, thank you for sharing those opportunities with us. Finally, what can you share with us about capitalism and morality, which is the preeminent name for reason, argumentation, and liberty? Our last month's presentations, are they uploaded?
Those presentations are yet to be uploaded, but the next seminar will be held on the 3rd of August 2019, and we have still to start working on it, but Doug Casey, Rick Rule, Ian Plimer have already confirmed that they will be speaking at the next year's conference.
And last question, what did I forget to ask?
Two things, Maurice. I do the best in the bear market. People worry too much about the bear market. In my view, bear market is actually the best time to make money. Also, people are very worried about the trade war between the US and China. I think this is creating into unwinding of a lot of speculative investments that people had made. But eventually, all this trade war will end up looking like noise in a few months' time. People should assume that this will go away, and if they don't get too fearful about the possibility of this trade war continuing, they might actually be in a position to position themselves to profit from the fear that the trade war has brought to the market. This trade war, in my view, is only going to be end up as noise, nothing else.
And ladies and gentlemen, this is coming from one of the most respected names in the natural resource space. Jayant, thank you for sharing your wisdom. Jayant, if someone listening wants to get more information about your work, please share the contact details.
Everything that I do goes on my website, which is jayantbhandari.com.
And last but not least, please visit our website, www.provenandprobable.com, where we interview the most respected names in the natural resource space. You may reach us at contact@provenandprobable.com. Jayant Bhandari, the host of Capitalism and Morality, thank you for joining us today on Proven and Probable.
Thank you very much for the opportunity, Maurice.
All the best to you, sir.
Thank you for joining us today on Proven and Probable. Remember to like and subscribe for more conversations with the most respected names in the natural resource space. Check out our website at www.provenandprobable.com. The information presented on Proven and Probable is provided for educational and informational purposes only, without any express or implied warranty of any kind, including warranties of accuracy, completeness, or fitness for any particular purpose. The information is not intended to be and does not constitute financial, investment, or trading advice or any other advice. You should not make any financial, investment, or trading decision based on any of the information presented without first undertaking independent due diligence and consultation with a professional broker or competent financial advisor.